Hello children, good morning. We are going to continue this story Indigo. Here in this story, Louis Fisher describes Gandhi's struggle for the poor peasants of Champaran, who were the sharecroppers with the British planters. These sharecroppers led a miserable life and they were forced to grow indigo according to an agreement. They suffered a great injustice due to the landlord system in Bihar. Gandhiji waged a war for about a year against their atrocities and brought justice to these poor peasants. So let's continue with this story, Indigo. In the court, the judge had refused to deliver judgment, but he allowed Gandhi to be released without bail. So some of the prominent lawyers means some of the well-known lawyers, very important lawyers, prominent. So Rajendra Prasad, Brij Kishore Babu, Maulana Mazrul Haq, and several other prominent lawyers had arrived from Bihar. So they had arrived where Gandhi was in Motihari. They conferred with Gandhi. They had discussions with Gandhi. What would they do if he was sentenced to prison? Gandhi asked. If he's sent to prison, if he's put behind the bar, if he's given punishment, then in that case, what will these lawyers do? So the senior lawyer replied, one of the senior lawyers, he replied, they had come to advise him and help him. If he went to jail, there would be nobody to advise, so they had come to give advice. They would go home. And then Gandhi asked, what about the injustice to the sharecroppers? Well, Gandhi will go to jail. What about the injustice that is done to all these peasants, poor peasants? The lawyers withdrew to consult. So they started discussing among themselves. Rajendra Prasad has recorded the upshot of their consultations. They started consulting each other, and the upshot, that's a result of that or conclusion of that, they thought among themselves that Gandhi was totally a stranger. So he was a stranger. He was not even their lawyer. And he was not even from Champaran. Yet he was prepared to go to prison for the sake of these peasants. If they, on the other hand, being not only residents of the adjoining districts, they were not only from those nearby districts, but also those who claim to have served these peasants, who have done great service to these peasants, who had been loyal, these peasants had paid them, and they were claiming themselves to be the champions of these peasants. Should they go home? It would be shameful desertion. It would, now here deserting means leaving, and it would be very shameful. They have to be ashamed of themselves at this juncture if they leave. If they allow the stranger to go to jail and they themselves not care for the peasants whose cases they had been fighting, whom they felt that they were serving. So Gandhi made them to think about the, the action that they were doing it. And they think over that gathered there, and they had consulted each other. Let's go to this. Think as you read before trying to understand this passage. The events in this part of the text illustrate Gandhi's method of working. So Gandhi has made these lawyers to think over. He is a stranger there. And whereas all others, they are fighting their cases. and these peasants were paying them. Can you identify some instances of this method and very peaceful method of resistance? No violence involved in that, and link them to his ideas of satyagraha and non-violence. So it was not a violent method. When he talked to a judge, he said it was conflict of duties. He never wanted to break the law, but yes, he was guilty. He was breaking the law. But for what he was doing it? It's because it was not right as far as higher laws are concerned of God. And therefore it was his conscience that was allowing him to break the law, though he was against breaking the law. So that was conflict of duties. So here what has happened now, these lawyers, they have consulted each other and they felt that Gandhiji was totally a stranger there. He was ready for the sake of these peasants to go to prison. Whereas these people were fighting their cases, these peasants were paying them, even then they were not concerned. They accordingly went back to Gandhi and told him they were ready to follow him into jail. So all these lawyers said now they will not go back, but they will follow him if he goes to jail. The battle of Champaran is on. And Gandhi exclaimed, Gandhi said, now it's over. We have won. Then he took a piece of paper, divided the group into pairs. So what Gandhiji has done? Then he has taken a piece of paper, he divided the group of these lawyers into pairs and put down the order. So then put down the order in which each pair was to court arrest. So how it is to be done? That is what they are decided now. So what has happened? Rajendra Prasad and other lawyers, they concluded that if Gandhiji goes to court, he goes to jail, they will also follow. Then on hearing this, Gandhiji has assured them that their struggle for Champaran's peasants had been won. He divided the group into pairs of two and made a sequence in which they had to voluntarily surrender in the court. Several days later, Gandhi received a written communication from the magistrate informing him that the lieutenant governor of the province, now here lieutenant governor is a deputy governor, had ordered the case to be dropped. So he had ordered that the case has to be dropped against Gandhi. Civil disobedience had triumphed. So what civil disobedience had won? The first time in modern India. So it was a satyagraha. Without any violence, he could win against the British landlords. Gandhi and the lawyers now proceeded to conduct a far-flung inquiry. So they wanted to conduct the detailed inquiry. So here what has happened, after some days the magistrate sent a letter to Gandhiji in which it was written that as per the orders of deputy governor, the case against him had been taken back. It was for the first time in modern India that a peaceful protest against the government had been won. Gandhi and the other lawyers now proceeded to conduct a far-flung inquiry into the grievances of, into the complaints of, into the demands of all these peasants. Depositions by about 10,000. Now here depositions means a formal written statement by about 10,000 peasants were written down. So depositions, their statements, the written statements were taken from these peasants, notes made on other evidence. So proof they were gathering, evidence, proof they were gathering, documents were collected, the whole area throbbed. Now what has happened now? They have started the work now. Gandhi and other, what work they have started? They started collecting the statements of peasants, then what all problems they faced. Then after that various documentary proofs were collected. The whole area throbbed with the activity. So throbbing, you are vibrating with lot of activities of the investigators and the vehement, very strong protest of the landlords. And landlords, they started protesting all these whatever they were doing it. In June, Gandhi was summoned to Sir Edward Gate. So in the month of June, what has happened? Gandhiji was called up to be present before the Deputy Governor, Sir Edward Gate, the Lieutenant Governor or Deputy Governor. Before he went, he met whom he met. Let's see. Let's continue with this. So before meeting the Lieutenant Governor, he has met leading associates. So Gandhiji has met all his supporters, all those leading associates or his chief supporters. He has met them. He has talked to them before going to there, and then again laid detailed plans. So he has made plans, detailed plans for civil disobedience if he should not return, if he is arrested, if he is put behind the bar, then what should be followed. So all those plans, so well plans he has made. Gandhi had four protracted interviews. So here protracted means an interview held for a longer period, longer time. So lasting for a long time, protracted interviews with the Lieutenant Governor, who as a result appointed an official commission of inquiry into the indigo sharecroppers situation. So what was set up? Official commission of inquiry was set up so that they will look into the sharecroppers condition or sharecroppers grievances. The commission consisted of landlords, government officials, and Gandhi as the sole representative of the peasants. Gandhi remained in Champaran for an initial uninterrupted period of 7 months, and then again for several shorter visits. So Gandhi, then the visit undertaken casually on the entity of an unlettered peasant in the expectation that it would last a few days, occupied almost a year of Gandhi's life. Now here, the visit undertaken casually on the entity, on the plea, on the request of an unlettered peasant. Unlettered here, illiterate peasant. And who was that illiterate farmer? Rajkumar Shukla. And it was expected that it would last a few days. It would be only for few days. But it had taken a long time. So before that he had very long interviews, which were protracted interviews with Lieutenant Governor, who had set up a commission for inquiry into the and which would look into the grievances of all these peasants. And Gandhiji wanted to be there only for a short period, but what has happened? It has taken almost a year in Champaran to fight for the cause of all these sharecroppers. The official inquiry assembled a crushing mountain of evidence against the big planters, and when they saw this, they agreed, in principle, to make refunds to the peasants. Now, when the inquiry was conducted, what happened? There was a crushing mountain of evidence. There was a huge evidence. It didn't favor the planters. And because there was a very big evidence there, which was all against them. So in principle, they agreed to make refunds, to make refund to the peasants. But how much we pay, they asked Gandhi. So how much is to be paid? Now here, the question was how much to be paid. Now here they thought he would demand repayment in full of the money which they had illegally and deceitfully extorted from the sharecroppers. So they were thinking that deceitfully, dishonestly, they had collected all the money from these people. So he would ask the full payment. So these British landlords thought that Gandhi would ask for the full payment of the money which they had taken forcefully, which they had taken dishonestly, illegally from all these sharecroppers. But he asked only 50%. And he has asked only 50%. There he seemed adamant, writes Reverend J. Z. Hodge, a British missionary in Champaran who observed the entire episode at close range. So there he was bent upon. There he was adamant. He was firm. He was not ready to budge. He was not ready to reduce. Thinking probably that he would not give way, the representative of the planters offered to refund to the extent of 25%. So the representative of those the British landlords, he said they can give only 25% because he was firm. He was firm on 50%. And to his amazement, to his surprise, what has happened? Mr. Gandhi took him at his word, thus breaking the deadlock. So the deadlock, a situation where the progress was not possible, where the progress was not made, in which no progress can be made. So there was a deadlock. And how to break that deadlock, that was a question here. And therefore the representative of the British landlords, he thought that he was very adamant and therefore he offered 25%, and Gandhiji accepted that. He thought that Gandhiji would reject that, but immediately Gandhiji accepted that, and that is how the deadlock was broken. Let us recapitulate. And here the picture of Quit India movement is given. It should be movement, M-O-V-E-M-E-N-T. So the Battle of Champaran, it's the beginning of civil disobedience and how it was planned. It's a very, very important episode in Mahatma Gandhi's life because that was the beginning of civil disobedience. Battle of Champaran won. This is what he said. Rajendra Prasad and many other prominent lawyers had arrived from Bihar. They supported Gandhiji. What would they do if Gandhi was sent to jail? That was the question put by Gandhiji to them. The lawyers decided to follow him into jail. They consulted each other and they decided that they will also follow him into jail, and that is the time he says, Battle of Champaran is won. Gandhi exclaimed, the Battle of Champaran is won. Several days after, the Lieutenant Governor of the province decided to listen to their case. Commission of Inquiry. Now Gandhi had 4 protracted interviews with the Lieutenant Governor. So he was interviewed by the Lieutenant Governor, and it was for longer periods. So that's why protracted interviews with the Lieutenant Governor. And later the Lieutenant Governor agreed that he would appoint a commission. So he appointed an official commission of inquiry into Indigo sharecroppers situation. So in order to find out the conditions of these sharecroppers, he had set up a commission of inquiry. Gandhiji was sole representative of these peasants. So he remained in Champaran for more than 7 months. Actually, he had come there only for a short period, but almost a year he remained there in Champaran. So there were many evidences, there were many proofs against the landlords and British officials. So they had illegally extorted, they had illegally taken money from these sharecroppers. Gandhiji demanded back 50%. The planters or these British landlords offered to refund only 25%. Gandhiji agreed because the British government for the first time bent down in Indian history, and this is how the deadlock was broken. Thank you. Goodbye.